So the first one that we have for today is a big one from OpenAI. So OpenAI has introduced GPT-4o. The O stands for Omni, and the key features that they are highlighting is that it's free, it's better, and it's faster.
All right, Pete, there was a lot to absorb here, and I know you had a great post on LinkedIn. I encourage everybody to take a look at that. But give us your brief synopsis and your rating on this one.
Yeah, I'd say this one is absolutely essential. In fact, I would dare say that folks should read it several times and watch the videos, and maybe watch the videos with their kids because they might have a different interpretation. But yeah, I think this is a game changer. We've got, I was trying to think of how to summarize it. And I would say, first and foremost, the term that keep coming to mind was almost like the Alexification of AI, of open AI, but smarter, more empathetic, a bit more humble, and definitely more integrated with other modalities. And so this is kind of a triumph of voice that I think everybody, Google, Amazon, was trying to get to. And now it's really coming to us furiously in a very, very user-friendly format. And I think that's going to be a game changer. And then closely related to that, I think OpenAI is further democratizing access, or lowering barriers, lowering costs. We're seeing in our own research that certain underrepresented segments are disproportionately using AI tools. And I think that's because of the screaming utility. And so now we've got the biggest platform further lowering barriers. And I think we need to really spend some time interpreting that. I love the way OpenAI teed up the data. It's very Sesame Street simple. I love the videos. They're very humble. I love the way they show mistakes and bloopers. It kind of opens them up to us. It makes it, it kind of betrays the stereotype of the arrogant, brosters in Silicon Valley. And I think it's incredible. Opening up the ChatGPTs to everybody is a big deal. There's a lot of innovation going in there. It's a bit of a fire hydrant, but there's a lot there. I would encourage everyone to spend the next couple of weeks taking it piece by piece. But it's another game changer in this OpenAI tsunami.
Yes,
just hope you mean fire hose, not fire hydrant. Anyway,
fire hydrant, fire hose, whatever you call it. I'm overwhelmed.
We were discussing before the call. It's great that those of us that have the Plus subscription immediately have access to this. Sometimes there's a bit of a lag as they roll it out over various users. And so far, everyone I've talked to has access to play with it. And it is super fast. It's incredibly fast. I messed around with it a bit this morning. I don't know if anyone's going to disagree with Essential here, but I'd love to hear what stuck out for you, Adam and John, on this.
Sure. Well, first, I just want to know, when, Pete Blackshaw says this is essential, I mean, Pete is so knowledgeable. I mean, he's right in the middle, and has been for most of his career, of the river of advertising cash that funds all this whole part of the economy. So for Pete to say, look, this is essential in this is, that's whatever. Jacques Papin telling you this is a good.
Thanks, John.
Right? I mean, it's a big deal. The thing that kept resonating in my mind, and rhymes with what you said, Pete, was, Sam Altman's quote about, this is the superior interface. And it's so true. I mean, this is, and, having hung around, MIT Media Lab back in the 80s, and the AI lab, and they were talking about this stuff. And here we are, 40 years later, really interacting with it. So I think it's breakthrough for access. It's breakthrough for conception. It's going to change the interface of any digital thing, industrial or consumer. I mean, we're just at the early days of it. And when I say the interface, it's not just the interface. What we haven't seen in the past is the interface is actually, when you look at it the right way, it's behavioral capture, right? And so it's really, think about the space between me and this machine I'm interacting now with, that's now getting captured. It's going to change the whole nature of that interaction. And of course, the river of cash called advertising that funds a lot of it. So yeah, huge.
What were your reactions, Adam?
Well, I mean, I love it. I've gotten right to work with it, refactoring some code. Actually, the ratings page on the GAI Insights website for the ratings and rationale will now load and refresh faster, thanks to Omni as of this morning. But probably what stood out to me, which is the really big deal, is why it's called Omni. So the idea is in the past, what would happen is if you spoke to a model like GPT, there would be one thing that would convert that audio into text. Then there would be a separate model that would interpret that text. And then there'd be a third model that would take that answer and convert it back into audio. And so it was actually a 3 model pipeline. And that is now all being run through a single neural network now. And what they're saying is that through that old process, you would lose so much information. But now, because we have the single pipeline, you can actually observe tone, multiple speakers, background noise, and it'll allow much more of an emotional response. It can laugh, it can sing. In one of the demos there, they actually show it. They have it create 2 different singers, like a baritone and a soprano, and it's a single AI that you're chatting with, but it actually has the 2 voices singing in harmony, right? So we're really just starting to scratch the surface of what this can do, but probably more than anything, what this new pipeline enables is it used to be latency between 3 and 5 seconds on average to get a response out of this voice system. And now it's down to like 200 to 300 milliseconds, which is.
I think we lost Adam, unless this is my internet.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think what he's going to say is, it's below human threshold for.
In terms of our ability to. Yeah, I think I'm back.
You're in and out, Adam. So we're going to have John finish up here.
Awesome. Yes. No, I think that and there's a lot of early research when they were designing, the early computers that showed that when you have a very fast, sub-perceptive interaction, you stay in a flow state. So you have a totally different relationship than, even a, and as soon as you get to perceptible weight, your cognition changes a lot. So the fact that it's approaching seamless interaction is huge.
All right. So absolutely essential. I'm really excited to see what people build off of this, right? I think this really just opens up a whole other world of use cases. And the fact that they've made the cost go down, we've been hearing over and over again, you can't really beat the performance of the GPT-4 model, but it's super expensive to run. And, people we've spoken to have constantly started experimenting with other models, trying to replace it because it's so expensive. And now hopefully this kind of stops that bleeding for OpenAI. So absolutely essential. We'll go on to the next.